Well, I'm going to install this lighted light switch in the garage. The garage is really dark and the light switch is out in the garage, so every time I go out into the garage at night I have to fumble around for the switch. Well, I'm going to take this one and remove the other one. So you might want to keep watching my videos if that's something you want to learn. Because you know what? You don't have to put a lighted switch out in the garage. Maybe you want to put a lighted switch, you know, in a laundry room, in a storage room, in the bedroom, or your office area. This particular video right here might help you out. Keep watching. Now here's the dimmer that I just installed. What am I going to do with this existing light switch that I took out? Don't throw it away. Save it, because you never know when you might need it. Because I've known regular light switches to go out before, and then you'll have one that you can reuse later on. But how much do these light switches cost? They don't cost very much. If this one is all dirty and you think maybe something's cracked on or it's not working properly or something like that, you can go ahead and throw it away. They only cost a couple dollars at the hardware store. What is our video about today? Well, if you were watching one of my other videos on installing a dimmer switch, I told you that I wanted to install a lit light switch in the garage. Now, and I went to the hardware store and I got a lit light switch because you have to reach around to turn the light switch on for the garage. And you know what? I just looked inside the house. We haven't had this house for very long, but I looked inside the house and here's 3 switches here, and I hit a couple of them, and I hit the last one. I wasn't sure what it was because I had this door closed. I had the door closed and I'm like, okay, nothing's happening, but look what happens. Lights in the garage on, off, right here. So they had a 3-way switch, one there and one down here. I don't know what the deal was with that. And this switch here, I'm not sure what that's for yet. It could be to power up an existing outlet in the garage somewhere, and I just don't know yet. Could be for this outlet over here or what. I haven't checked into that yet. So I'm not going to put one here. I'm not going to put this lit switch in there. And this was a lighted switch, and it was a single pole. It's 15 amp, and it was called a single pole, which means it was just for this light. It's not a 3-way. So even if I did want to put it here, I'd have to go back to the hardware store. I'd have to get one exactly like this, except a 3-way. A 3-way means that this light wherever your light is can be controlled with 2 different light switches. And that's the fact for the garage. Okay? So I'm just going to have to remember at night, I'm going to turn that one to the garage on. Okay? So I'm making the determination I don't need a lit switch here in the garage, but I might need one in the other garage. Let's go take a look at that and see what's going on over there. Okay, this house happens to have 2 different garage locations, and I just checked this out a little while ago, and see, there's one switch here. And here's the garage, and there's one switch here. So the garage turns on there, okay, right there. But as I go in here, this one here, I thought, well, maybe it's for the garage, and no, it's not. It's for the hall. So I'm surprised. The other garage, they had another switch next to it, and that was a 3-way for the garage. They should have done the same thing for this garage over here, but they didn't. So now, since I have a single pole light switch. Lighted light switch. That means half of this is probably going to be lit up. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen if it's lit up down here or up here or whatever. And because see, sometimes at night I might come and this is off and it's dark everywhere, and now I have to go down this step and I have to reach my hand around here and fumble. Okay, where is it? Where is it? I can just look over and see where it is and turn it on. Okay, that's kind of messed up though, because they should have that light switch in the house too, on a three-way, or some other houses have it just before you go out into the garage. Maybe right here, you turn this on and it goes on there. So because how they have it, I'm in luck. I get to make this video after all. And I'm going to install this lighted light switch in the garage. Now if you need a lit light switch somewhere else, you can still watch this video. It's the same. Because if I wanted to put it in the bedroom, let's say I wanted to put it in the bedroom, I could stick it right here. This is just for the lights here next to the bed. Okay, I could put a dimmer switch right there if I wanted to. You know, just make sure if you get a single pole, it's one switch for whatever lights. It's not a three-way light switch. You go back to the store and you can find them. I saw one at the store. It was a three-way lighted light switch. Okay, so enough of that intro. My next thing is getting ready to install this. Do you know what the next step is? If you didn't watch my other videos on how to install a light switch or replace a light switch or put a dimmer switch in or anything like that, you know that the next step is going to be not to start taking the cover plate off, but to turn this on, make sure you know that it's on, and find out where your electrical panel is to the house. Lots of times it's outside, sometimes it's inside your house, in a laundry room, a storage room, in a closet, something like that. Find your panel first so you can determine how to turn this off, and that's what we're going to do next. Wow, this is almost like deja vu for me because I just installed a dimmer switch. And by the way, if you haven't seen that, look for it on my channel. I'll have it uploaded on there. This is where the electrical panel is outside. And I'm not sure if it's in this one because this particular one has a sub panel. We have another one inside the house. See, it's a 200 amp because here's 100 and 100. There's a little deal that hooks them both together. So that means that's a 200 amp sub panel. Or there's 200 amps that go to a sub panel. Okay, so I know there's a sub panel in here, but I also just wanted to briefly look on here to see if the garage, if anything happened to do with garage was on here. It would be on a 20 amp circuit, you know, like one of these, or a 15. Here, see? Here's two different ones for garages because there's two different garages. This one says garage GFI, ground fault interceptors, and garage ground fault interceptors. See, there's two circuits that go to this particular circuit breaker location. In some sub panels, you might have a bigger paddle switch that just says 15. You might have one big huge breaker that says 15, and that's just one breaker. Well, this one is called a twin, and there's two breakers and two different circuits in just this one location. Isn't that kind of cool? See this here? See how this paddle breaker handle is bigger than the other two? See? That means there's one circuit for right here. Two circuits up here. Here's one circuit here, see? There's two there. They could have put a twin there. They could have put a twin there. Then they would have had an extra twins. They could have put two more circuits in this panel had they have done that. Right there. You see what I mean? They could have. Here's another single. But maybe there was a requirement that said you can only have so many circuits in a panel such as this size, and maybe that's why the electricians decided to do it that way. I don't know. Okay? So I know it's going to be one of these two. I don't know which one. One's probably for one garage, one's probably for the other. So I probably don't have to go to my sub panel. Okay? I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to check the top one. I'm going to try that. and I can just go to the first garage and look at that, and if those lights work, I know that's not the one. I'll come back here and do that one, okay?